Ooh, tall boys tonight, huh? Okay, you insist. Good stuff. Nectar of the gods. Welcome back to another episode of Dumb Stuff with Matt. Last episode, last time I put this vinyl decal on, turned out pretty fantastic for a guy in his garage. He really doesn't do that kind of work normally. And I might have previewed what we're putting on tonight. And that is one of these Amazon hydraulic brake handles. Now, if you're going to do this, I would highly recommend you research what the back fitting is. I had a heck of a time getting it. In fact, I ended up having to order it off Amazon. No parts stores carry. It's a weird size, like 7/16 20 or something weird. You can see I've kind of already pre-made my brake lines. This one is going to go to the front. This one's going to go to the back. I got to find a union or something to get these all tied in. So let me put you guys on the stand and let's start rooting around. I believe we're going to start with the front brake, or the front hose up front. So, looking down here, we've got two brake lines that come out of the master cylinder. I believe it is going to be this fella. So let's just chase that down and see where it goes. Comes down here, goes down and around. Well, I'm glad we checked, because that is definitely to the front. So that means this fella is the fellow we're going to tap into. See if there's a junction box anywhere down here. I do not see one. Man, do I hate to do this, because this car's got really good brakes right now. But, you know, we got to do the things. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that line, and then we're going to recreate a line that goes from here all the way down, underneath the car, and up into the cabin over here. So, let me put you on the stand. We'll get after this thing. Well, like I said, I really hate to do this, but we must get it done. So, we're going to start right back here. We're just going to pop this line off. Maybe. Uh-oh. We may not have enough room. Well, this just became a much bigger thing to do. All right, I'm going to put you guys on fast mode, because now I've got to pull the brake master out. Oh, geez. Well, my phone must have died because it stopped recording. So, I'm not sure how far you guys got. We'll figure it out when we're editing. But, I was starting to make up some brake lines. The little nipple thingy broke off right inside the line. So, that's going to do it for tonight. The other thing I did learn is if you're doing one of these hydraulic brake handles, I hooked it up backwards. So, when you would pull the lever, it would actually push brake fluid back up into the master cylinder. So, if you are hooking one of these up, this is your inlet, this is your outlet. I had it hooked up the exact opposite. Wasn't getting any air to the rear brakes. That's great. But, we'll continue on tomorrow night after I can get a new shitty Harbor Freight brake line flare tool. See you guys tomorrow. Well, here we are, back from town. Wouldn't you know it, only hand tools from Harbor Freight come with a lifetime warranty. So, if you break the $1 nub, you gotta buy a $30 kit to replace it. So that's nice. And I was so happy about having to pay for a tool I'm only gonna use a couple of times twice. I kinda got started. We did get the line from the master cylinder down to the brake. Remember, the inlet for the handbrake is to the rear, not the front, as you would think, but you know, because Temu doesn't really come with directions. So now, we are going to run the line from here to our brake union down here. Now, what you guys might ask is, looks like there's already a brake line that's been run. That is true. There is a brake line that's already run. When I figured out that you had to run it to the front port instead of the back port, my brake lines that I'd already done were too short. So, first thing I gotta do is get the old one off. It involves me being down here on the ground, getting all covered in grease and brake dust and whatnot. So I'm gonna put you guys on the stand, put you on Hyperloop, and then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna build this replacement rear line. So hang tight here. And just like that, old brake line out. I do like this copper line. This is fantastic stuff. You can really just bend the crap out of this with your hands. No need for the special tools. So, up next, we got to figure out a rear brake line from that little handbrake dealie to where I was just working. So let me go drum up some stuff. Let's see what we can come up with. Sometimes trial and error kind of pays off in a way. So I was looking at the old brake line that I just pulled off. This fella, who's definitely not going to be long enough, and realized I had the original fail from the top. So I think all I need to do on this one is change one fitting from a short to a long, and we will be in business for the rear line, hopefully. This does appear long enough. I'm going to have to do some finagling here with the edges to get them straight, but I think that's what we're going to try here. So let me get this to a spot where I can cut off the edge I don't need. And then we will do a little bit more flaring, hopefully. Hopefully it works. I've only got a few more fittings before I got to go run into town, like always. So I'm going to put you guys on Hyperloop, because this process takes a lot of time, and I cuss a lot. Well, there it is, installed. New line from the front master cylinder into the cabin to the brake handle. New brake line from the brake handle down underneath the car to the rear. Now we're going to put our wheels back on with our center caps. And then we're going to pull that carburetor off because all my parts are here. And I'm going to take it to my dad's house tomorrow and he is going to work his magic on it. So maybe tomorrow evening, we'll be able to take this thing for a cruise again with some throttle. But let me get back to these wheels. I'm going to put them on and then take the front ones off, put center caps on, and then we'll lower back down to the ground again. This car is kicking my butt. Well, we got a productive day. Got the car cleaned up a little bit, ready for a possible test drive tomorrow. Yes. Our list is slowly dwindling. I've got all my stuff ready for tomorrow's carburetor rebuild. I am feeling pretty good. I think tomorrow afternoon we're going to focus on getting the carburetor back on. And probably the alternator and the cut and buff. This side does not have near the shine that the other side has, or the deck lid for that matter. You can see my lights in that one. So I think we'll put some effort into that. Hopefully after we get to drive it around, because that always motivates you, you know. So guys, we're gonna call it here for the night. Beautiful Saturday evening. About to partake in some lovely Busch Light apple. We'll see you guys later. Carburetor is back on. My dad did work some magic. Found some like build up in places I didn't know could be built up. So I think we're gonna hop in this little girl and take her for a cruise here. Hang tight with me. Well, test drive did not go as expected. Sometimes you gotta trust your carburetor expert, because this carburetor has something weird right there. That little fella. I waited about a week and a half for parts to rebuild this part, and none of it lines up. So I did the right thing, and I ordered a Weber carb kit, complete with intake and all the gaskets and such. So yeah, that was a pretty penny, but it needs to be done. So also after our attempted test drive, I had to add some more things to do. We have a new coolant leak, and the brakes need bled horrible. I wasn't sure if I was going to stop. So, Sunday night, the chickens are incredibly crazy tonight. Rabbits are probably similarly annoyed as I am. So I think we're going to start doing some stuff that needed to get done a while ago. The coolant leak, I should have fixed that months ago. I was just trying to, you know, do the YouTube thing and get things done fast, easy, and cheap. The brake bleed, we did put the hydraulic brake in, so I expected some of that. Just need to get some brake fluid because I ran out last night. But anyway, again, 90% of the building a car is the big stuff. That 10% details is vicious. Everything gets you. So, yeah, guys, let's retouch tomorrow night. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Later. We got updates. Carburetor showed up. I'm impressed. Came with pretty much everything you'll need for the kit, besides the actual intake gasket. Kit number, in case you're following along, K-054-M, designed specifically for a Spitfire. The instructions are pretty well complete. It does say the carburetor has already been pre-calibrated, should run just fine on this normal stock engine. So let's first thing we're going to do, let's get the old setup off. I'm ready to see this pile of junk in the junk pile. So I'm going to put you on the stand, we'll get it off there. All right, pre-lubricated our studs here. Hopefully they'll just come right apart. Probably not. Going to go ahead and pull our fuel line off. Set that off to the side. Sure, just drip some fuel all over. That's fine. We'll make it work. I think these nuts we need to take off are 9/16. Let's get that janky wiring out of the way. Let's see if it pops free. Yep. Oh, looking good on the first one. Stud stayed in, that's good. Not sure what these are called, but they look important, so we'll set those off to the side. I don't know if we have to take the exhaust manifold off too, so we're going to try not to. Nine sixteenths was indeed the right nut size. Oh, this one took the stud with it. Lame. That's okay. We'll figure it out. That one's up there. Let's go find a 9/16. Yeah, boxed in wrench. Hang tight. Got the stud on that one too. Boo! It looks like the replacement gasket has this as an aluminum kind of pressed. So hopefully that's the case and we don't have to bother replacing it. I do have one, if that's what we find. The other thing I don't know is how we're going to do the vacuum lines yet. I don't remember seeing many options for ports on that other new setup. Saved it. Nope. Of course, it wouldn't be that easy. Is there more bolts that I can't see? Probably, because that's how they would do it. You know what? Let's try to break those other ones free real quick. Just see what happens. Go, boy. That's a tight one. Ugh. Perfect. Use the old flesh sledgehammer. That's why my hands always hurt. Well, that just added more fun. Broke her clean off. Couldn't have been the fact I was using a sledgehammer to take it off. What do you got over here, little fella? Well, it acts like it's a different size. Let's get you out of the way. Go ahead and unhook the throttle cable. Okay. That's out of our way now. Let's see. That one came off okay. So we got to figure that problem out. So I guess the exhaust is coming out. That just became a much bigger job than I wanted it to be. Nope. All right, let me do some looking here. All right, if you're following along here, you're going to find two bolts directly under these two runners. They are snug. According to the forums, I know some of you youngsters may not know what the forums are. Learn that, guys. That's a That's a life lesson in how to figure these things out. Opened in 9/16. You're going to slide it behind the header or the exhaust manifold, come up in the hole, get on the nut, turn it. Flip the wrench, get on the nut, turn it. It's rather timely and awkward, but it works. Until you get the wrench stuck, like I just did. But that's how it goes. Now, according to the forums, once you've got it backed off a little bit, this thing should start to come loose. We'll just keep beating it with a hammer. Who cares about this old crappy carburetor anyway? Nope, she's still not ready to come off yet. I'll give her a few more crankings. I tell you what, that's probably the snuggest bolt I've ever seen. Okay. See if I can get up there with my hands now. Probably not. Nope. That didn't sound good. Anyway, so yeah, well, oh, come on. What a pain in the neck. Holy moly. Okay, we still don't have any wiggle room. I wonder, is there another bolt? That's the only one on this side. That's the only one on this side. Let me keep poking with them. I'm going to put you guys in Hyperloop because this is going to take me a hot minute. Forgive the pry bar action you just saw. That was unneeded. There is a bolt that holds the exhaust manifold to the intake manifold that I did not see until just now. But it is a half, not a 9/16. Of course, because that would be too easy if they were all the same. Let's see. Halvesies, halvesies, halvesies. Who's... Oh, well, it acts like it was ready to. It does feel like it's just spinning. Oh, nope, there she goes. That'll teach me to follow directions. Oh, yeah. Well. Okay. We're making movement here. I don't think the new intake has this adapter. I just got a feeling. So, probably going to be a little bit of weight savings happening here. Okay. I think it's now hand tight. Well, it was hand tight. Lame. Hop. Hop. Well, let go of it now. Where are you stuck now? We're still on those stupid little bolts behind. Let me get back to it. Old one, off. New problem exists. The exhaust manifold is broken. So that's great news. Let me get you in here so you can see it. Whoa. Down you go. That stud that broke took the manifold with it. That's nice, real nice. So, let's go ahead and get this piece off because we're not going to need him anymore. I guess we'll start hunting on a manifold and try to put it back together again the way she is, but I doubt it holds. So, let's go ahead and pull that one off. Now we've got access to the gasket material. Let's clean that up, give it a good cleanup. She's old and crusty, boys. Came off in half a piece. Exhaust manifold. It's actually broken right there too. Glad we changed this. Is the whole manifold broken? Oh yeah. Look at that. Someone tried to weld this little fella on. That's fun. All right, let's get back to it here. Hang tight. All right, I scraped her down, or sprayed her down with some carb cleaner. Just try to get some of the gunk up. We're going to take a little wire wheelie deal here. Just clean up the gasket making surface a little bit, see what we come up with. And then again, we do have to get this stud out. Hopefully it comes out without much of a fight, but I doubt it. So off we go. Some of the gasket material is still stuck on that. Let me grab a screwdriver, poker, something. See if we can't get that up off there. Hey, it worked. Look at that. Now, I don't know how perfect this gasket material would have been back in the 70s, but if it's anything else on this little car, I don't think they really cared. Kind of like they just threw it together and said, off you go. So we're not going to do a terrible great job, but we are just going to clean it up. Now, again, if you guys are following along here, I actually ended up ordering a replacement header that does have a port for an oxygen sensor. I have a wideband oxygen sensor I'm going to put in this to hopefully help tune these carburetors. I don't know enough about them. So, what else can we get done tonight? Let's give her another good spritz. Oh yes, we got to get our broken bolt out. Well, I rarely have good luck with this. So, what do you say? Should we try channel locks? I would ask my dad how he would do it, but then I'd just get called an idiot for breaking the bolt off to begin with. So let's see here. That's tight, that's loose. Let's, oh, hey, what are we thinking? Give her a good spray of penetrating oil. Let's let her sit for a few minutes. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, come back. Well, guys, I surprised myself here. I used the old sacrificial socket plan for removing this stud, and it appears to be working. Let's see if we get it out of here. It's moving. It's moving. Oh yeah. Yep. Look at that. Almost out. Getting easier. Ta-da! Broken stud, extracted. Thank God it left me enough meat to get that socket on there. I just pounded the crap out of it with a sledgehammer to get it to go over that stud. It worked. I don't think I'll ever get those two apart, but it worked. So, now that we've got that far, we're going to go ahead and clean the area one more time, get it ready for the header to be here on Monday, hopefully, if eBay wasn't messing with me. So let's just spray her down. We're going to inspect it for material and unevenness. If I need to come back over it with another heavier duty wire wheel, we will do so. But I think we're going to call it here, guys. Going to make our next week's video the hopped up Spitfire 1500. So Thursday night, about 7 o'clock, I got to edit this, upload it, and have it ready for you guys tomorrow afternoon. We hit 374, I think, subscribers as of today. We're moving up in numbers, guys. If you like what you see, hit the like button, leave me a comment, tell me where you're from, tell me what I should do with this car. I don't know. I do have some upcoming plans. One of my buddies asked me if I wanted a free car. And you know what the answer to that is, fellas? Always yes. So I think that's coming home Saturday. So maybe we'll do a video in between of what we're going to do with this free car. And I guarantee you, it's just as redneck and trashy as you think it's going to be. With that said, I am going to enjoy a few garage beers, get myself cleaned up. I look like a homeless person right now. It's about 92 degrees in Illinois and muggy, muggy, muggy. If it stays like this, we're bringing out the air conditioner because I'm not going to keep working out in this heat. But anyway, sounds like I'm doing a lot of complaining. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the likey, subscribe dealy at the bottom. Put a comment in there, whatever you want to put. This is going to do it for tonight. Hope you guys have a good weekend. See you guys on the next one. Peace.